Okay, COVID-19 pandemic chronology video for today, Tuesday, 18 October 2022. I have one, and then some people have been interested in some like just general life updates, not necessarily pandemic related. So I'm going to do my one pandemic update and then my just general life updates because some people were interested in that. So the pandemic update is Uncle Gordy, my Uncle Gordy, has COVID-19. He has both tested positive and has symptoms. And so the concern with my parents and I now are, so my sister got it yesterday. He got it yesterday/today. And then so my sister cooked breakfast so my parents were out of town, and they were out of town at like a family thing. I was here watching Kona, so family minus me and Kona, and dogs weren't allowed. And so there was a bunch of family there, and so Lindsay and her husband made breakfast one morning, and so now people are sick, and I don't know if that was it or what, but my parents were there, so we're concerned about COVID entering the house. As of right now, so like they might have it or something like that. As of right now, which then could be spread to me, kind of thing. I did not have contact with my sister or my uncle or anything like that. So if I got it, it would be through them or interactions in public. Like I took my car in to get work done. But as of now, I'm gonna keep coming back to this. So my mom, my dad, my sister, my uncle, and my aunt says family, blood family, all have had vaccines and boosters. And my sister, so there's 5, and of those 5, my sister and my uncle have both tested positive and have symptoms. So 2 of 5 is 40%. There's one of that immediate family, there's one without a vaccine, 0 boosters, all that. That's me. So currently, I'm batting at 0%. Have COVID-19 pandemic, but that's a pretty quick 0 to 1, like 0 to 100% kind of thing. But as this is dedicated to chronology, the vaccinated in this particular little nuclear family, plus uncle and aunt, the vaccinated people were the people who get it first in this family, which is rather interesting, I think. All right, and then moving on to general life updates. So I kind of got like two big ones for those who are interested in this stuff. It says I mentioned wet dreams 2 days ago. Yeah. And a wet dream for a woman is like where she comes while she sleeps, and it comes enough that when she wakes up in the morning, she's still wet. And wet is not urine. Wet is cum, and cum, it can be in different forms. There's more globular cum. There's like jelly cum. There's kind of more filmy cum. There's a bunch of different cums. So kind of for me, it goes with different levels of arousal and different types of arousal, specifically for my soulmates, that kind of thing. And so I had a few of those last night. It was kind of like back to back to back. And so the first one was a cottage, my Nicolo and I. So again, my soulmates are all older than me. So I had a cottage house with my Nicolo in the countryside of Italy. And there was a lake, and there were lots of little ranas, molte ranas, many frogs, and we swam the frog in the nude with the frogs. And then when we came out of the lake, there were like 5 million little white and gray mice running across the countryside, because I call him Nitopo. And so the mice came to see their savior, my Nicolo. Alright, so that was the first one. The second one was my Chad. So I only got one Chad Leclos. And it was my Chad giving me a tattoo on my inner forearm here. So I don't have it. So this is a dream. So what happened when I was asleep. And he gave me a tattoo. He was my tattoo artist. And he got Balthazar. He tattooed Balthazar in big, bold letters on my arm. And because that's my nickname, because I am a demon. Yeah, That's yeah. And so that was pretty cool. And then the last one was just some bedtime with my in the dream. They were my sugar daddies. So my dean, the battle of the deans. Dean Boxall is always on top from me, or at least has been. So yeah, I had two sugar daddies, Tomas Seychon Leonhardi and Dean Boxall Leonhardi, and they're my soulmates, and I'm like their one and only soulmate. Again, with my soulmates, they only have me. We do not they do not share. They are one woman, and I am their one woman, and they do not share, and they're not interested in anybody else. Okay, so those were my wet dreams. Yeah. It's like, yeah, okay. And then moving on to the last thing for like swimming related, because we're kind of entering end of the year swimming season and the international competition scene. My soulmates in swimming update is middle name swim caps are back. So because mistreatment of my hubbykins, my soulmates are kind of at an all-time high. An example of a middle name swim cap is Leclos. So Chad Leclos wearing a swim cap that says Leclos because we still want to get married. We're just not in the, we want to get moving in, like be living together first. We're not there, so we have agreed upon swim cap Leclos specifically, because even if/when he takes my name, Leclos is still representative of his middle name, because he did his name currently is Chad, first name, Leclos, last name. There's nothing in between. That he was born that way and has stayed that way. It's all pristine for me, his honey bunny. And then, oh, and I guess it's kind of related to that. People get frustrated when my husband's soulmates in the past have worn Leonhardi caps and it's not shown on like a broadcast or on videos uploaded to YouTube or something like that. We keep the original footage and may publish it later, like if we live together kind of thing. That might come on the radar. Yeah, so when a lot of, especially like the International Swimming Federation, International Olympic Committee, a bunch of news organizations don't actually publish the original footage. They heavily edit it and alter it. Can think of like their videos and the pictures they publish as like, if you've ever been on Wikipedia, there's a revision history, and sometimes pages will have hundreds or thousands of edits. They treat each video or picture as that. So there's potentially original footage, potentially not. It's all just computer generated imagery. They do that sometimes too. But then they have like, 1,000 people edit it. So it's like nothing like the original. Does that matter? Yeah. So it is, it's actually on YouTube possible to flag and report channels for publishing altered footage. And it's possible for a channel to get deleted. And the crime it is a type of misconduct when the footage has been altered and then is presented as factual. And so that's one, it's called impersonation. It's misinformation too, which is a type of misconduct, but it's impersonation, and impersonation is also known as identity crime, identity theft. My husbands, Tomas Seychon and Drew Kibler, do not have YouTube channels. So if there's a YouTube channel with their name, it's not them. It means that whoever is putting out the channel, if they're putting out channels in the image of my husband, Tomas Seychon, who's the swimmer, or Drew Kibler, who's a swimmer, they don't have my husband's consent. And so it means it's impersonation if they're presenting that image. And so that is actually a very unique crime in this world, because it is the crime itself, because they do not have consent and then they still push a false image. The act of impersonation proves bad faith. It proves intent to harm the person and or their family. So like if there were a channel and it was presenting an image of my Kyle, for example, and he had like body art, also known as tattoos, that did not exist, it'd be impersonation. And if, let's say, a different one of my husbands was presented as being in a relationship with someone other than me, which is not true, then technically the person who's pretending to be my husband's wife is impersonating me, right? They're trying to say they want my role, they want my life. They're going to take and try and steal my identity and say they're the wife or the girlfriend or the fiance of this person that they're actually not. And it's really, that's the kind of shit that gets a person sent to hell. Or heaven. Like I said, I'm Balthazar the demon, so I commandeer all of hell. We don't want that kind of dirty misconduct in hell, so that can go to heaven. That kind of thing. So wherever I go, they don't go. That's just how bad of a crime impersonation is, and provable. The act itself proves intent to harm me and my significant others, and consequently my family. Like, it hurts my parents' memories. A lot of my parents' memories problems come from the press publishing misinformation about my parents. But my channel, I have two. So there's, what it happens is if a video is flagged, and there's kind of two levels of community guideline strikes. Mine have the non-fatal strikes. There are fatal strikes. Fatal strikes, so the non-fatal strikes, the ones I have two, are where YouTube goes, we're just going to age restrict this. Something may or may not be wrong with this video. It was flagged for this. We're going to age restrict it. Okay? We're saying it's not, like, there's something wrong with it, but it's not, potentially not that wrong, because we're not asking you to delete it, right? Kind of thing. So it's like a gray zone, but not really, and they can lift those age restrictions. But I have those age restrictions, okay, on two videos. That's the non-fatal kind. The fatal kind is where they they don't ask the person, they delete the video themselves because it's such a heinous violation of community guidelines. Whatever the community guideline violated may be. It's misconduct, and YouTube can delete. And it takes 3 of those fatal type to get a channel permanently deleted. And that actually applies on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, web publishers. So a lot of people publish online. They'll have a website, www.blank.com, www.blank.org, that kind of thing. And those websites are actually published not by the company themselves. There's usually some sort of host or publisher they go through, and the publisher can actually apply those kind of strikes to the website itself. So if somebody has published impersonation information or misinformation, if reported through channels, so like flagging on YouTube, for example, the entire channel can be deleted because they posted 3 videos. Now, if there's more than 3 videos, the problem's a whole lot more, and perhaps we're looking at a .com bubble burst kind of for sporting reporting and news organizations to begin with, which, considering how much misinformation there is in this world, it's probably about right time. Doesn't mean it's going to happen today. It's not. Spoiler alert. And so, but that is something to keep in mind. It's like, I could go, it's, impersonation is legally, like in the legal system, easy to pursue. However, why would I go to that when YouTube already has reporting channels in place, like flagging and stuff like that? Well, personally, I don't know if my channel's in the place to be doing that. Or I already got 2 of the non-fatal community guideline kind of things. So I'm like, I don't know if I would go about doing that now. But that is something, if I trust this platform, then it's worth going through the flagging process on here, because then if I did take it to court, I'd be like, whether or not YouTube acts on it, I can be like, I have flagged 500 of blank's videos that have impersonated me and or my husband's and or severely distorted what they actually look like, so the real image. And so they presented misinformation and trying to pass it off as reality. That kind of thing. So trusting the platforms I'm using kind of thing. Yeah, although there's the perk of when images are severely distorted enough, and it's tied with bad information, there's a kind of a sweet spot of, well, then I can walk down the street with the true thing, And we don't get any of the negative feedback because they don't even recognize him as that severely distorted image. So it kind of backfires on the press, which is kind of funny. The press is news, well, let's just say they're at least extremely predictable on how they get triggered and sort of temper tantrums like a 4-year-old. So, yeah. But that's today. Morning update, but not I don't plan on doing more of these videos today. So day update for 18 October 2022. Let's hope my parents and I do not get COVID-19. At least I do.